Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Powkiddy Retro FC Q3 168-in-1 game system. TomTop sent me this for free for review. It's about $15 retail, by the way. I'll put a link to it down below. Okay, so this could easily, just so you know, be mistaken for the Retro Mini. However, it would be a mistake because they are completely separate units, even though they look very similar. The Retro Mini does several different game systems, whereas the Retro FC is dedicated to just doing Famicom stuff. So this is a little bit more advanced system than this one. But the build quality is very similar, which makes this a little bit more interesting, especially in the $15 price range. All right, let's look at the box. Yeah, it looks a lot like some other boxes we could name. On the side here, it shows you TV out, adapter in, power, reset, game keys, arrow keys, which is D-pad. Why not just call it a D-pad? I don't get that. Volume, plus, minus, select, and start, and we'll go through that on the unit itself. The box contains one console, an AV cable, a DC cable, a user manual. I don't know why I found that so chuckleiciously funny, but anyway.
Ha ha ha. Ha ha.
And that's about it. And some packing. Here's another side. Digital game system, 3.0-inch super wide LCD. The console is slim, portable, and trendy. Digital multi-platform device can play on TV. The backlit function of the screen ensure players can play everywhere. Whew. With rechargeable battery pack. Includes an AC adapter and lithium-ion rechargeable battery. 6 hours of continuous gameplay. Pretty sweet. The screen on this is bigger than the Retro Mini screen, and I will compare them side by side a little bit later. Bottom's not very exciting. Here is the top. I suppose we should unbox it. I am shivering with anticipation. Pretty exciting. All right, we'll come back to this. The Powkiddy seal of quality. I got another Powkiddy coming up, by the way, with a bigger screen. The thing is like monstrous. So keep an eye out for that one coming. All right, here we go. I have a feeling if this is going with the trend that's been going on lately with these, that this is just going to say what's on the box. It's so weird. It opens backwards. Thanks for purchasing Retro FC PlayVision Portable. Well, there's another name for it. Retro FC PlayVision Portable product designed for many hours of game playing fun. This product is small and portable, so you can take it anywhere. Please read the following contents prior to connecting and playing to ensure proper use and care. And it does have a list of functions and a little problem section, which is kind of nice. You don't really see these on these weird little imports, so that's nice. Wait. No game sound. Have any of the cables become loose or disconnected? Is the TV volume too low or off? All right. Yep, excitement. Cable. Here, I like when they include these. This always gets a little plus for me when they do. This is the AV out cable, and it's not too chintzy. I'll be darned. Plastics feel okay. It's not high-end quality stuff here, but it's moderately decent quality and does not feel like it's going to fall apart immediately. So, good. Next, of course, we have the charger. Here we go. And we got a good old mini USB to USB. So you still see these every once in a while, especially on these products. This cable's a little bit cheaper than the other cable. It's not terrible. Unfortunately, they don't include the AC adapter, which I'm getting sick of that, but I think on a $15 device, I can forgive it. Let's look at the device itself.
Yeah.
And there it is. Here we have the D-pad. It's the good old-fashioned plus style D-pad. One nice thing about it is, you see the lift it's got on it? It doesn't collapse when you press it, and that has been a big problem in reviews I've had lately, where you press down on the D-pad and the whole thing collapses, so it's very hard to reverse direction easily and hard to do smooth movements. This one, however, doesn't have that problem, so it does have very smooth movements in it, and that is very important in a D-pad. So that's a big plus right there. Next, we have the 4 main buttons, A, B, X, Y. Of course, only 2 really do anything. The other 2 are rapid fires. Note, this is A, this is B, this is the rapid fire, and the other rapid fire, these are mismarked. I've seen this more and more on these little guys, where they have moved the A and B over here. And to some people that's going to feel funny, so if it bothers you, just be alerted that it is like that. I've grown used to it and I like it now, but again, it can throw some people off, especially you got years of Nintendo where everything's across from each other generally. Alright, reset button brings you to the main screen. It's a little bit chintzy, but it doesn't feel like it's going to fall off or do anything terrible. Select and start are not rubberized, however, they are pretty good. There is the speaker right there in the front where it darn well belongs, not in the back. That's nice. Volume control knob instead of having one of those buttons. I also like that. That's a big plus as far as I'm concerned. Looking across the top, we got the on off. We've got a USB mini, would have preferred a micro there, but you know, we'll let it fly. Also AV jack right here. Again, as I mentioned earlier, it does include the cable, so you can output to your TV. Not an HDMI, of course. Looking on the back, there is a battery access panel. You can pop that open. No screw. That's nice. I hate the screws. I know a lot of people are like, well, safety, you don't want a baby eating it, but you know, it annoys the heck out of me. Next, note that the entire frame is translucent. It looks really nice. I'm just gonna flip it on for a second. You can see through the sides when it's playing. It's got a really good look to it. The general feel of it is pretty decent construction quality. It's not like dead perfect construction, but it is pretty solid. Also, if you can see the screen right now, the screen looks pretty nice. I'm gonna pop on a game here in a second. Okay, I've got the lights dimmed so you can see the screen. No dead pixels, no problems. I like the screen a lot. It's big, it's bright, it's attractive. The colors look about right to me. I know there's a few people out there that are super sensitive to the colors on Nintendo screens, so you let me know what you think, but you know, it's always hard for you guys to tell because you're looking at it from your monitor. Volume, it goes pretty high. It's not the loudest that I've heard. Not terrible distortion though. The sound quality is okay. Of course, you don't get a lot of bass with these things at all, but it's pretty clear throughout. It doesn't completely break apart like some of them do, so it's yet another plus. This thing's doing way better than I thought it was going to be, honestly, thus far. So, but as you can see, looks good. Notice that horizontal tear, not horizontal, diagonal tear to the screen. If you're a person that absolutely hates that, best to know, it's definitely there. And I see that on a lot of these, this one included. Oops. I ran right into it. Way to go. And as I pointed out, the buttons seem to work really, really well. Nice. Alright, let's go plug this into the big screen and take a look at it from there.
The last statement was a lie.
Alright, real quick, I promised a size comparison, so I'll do that. Here is the Powkiddy, which is the one we're reviewing right now, the Q3. This is kind of my gold standard one. It's the one I tend to take places with me, and this is the BitBoy. Not a perfect device, but really quite a good device. So you can see the size difference there. Here is the Family Pocket, which is currently among my favorite little handhelds of this kind. It mostly scores high because of its multiplayer capabilities, which of course this one does not have. It doesn't have a second controller. And here is the Retro Mini, which it is often mistaken for. So there we go. There's its size. So it's a little bit larger than most of them other than the Family Pocket. And here we are on the main menu. I'm going to just scroll through all the games available. Of course, the first screen asks you whether you want to go play in English or Chinese. We're going to choose English. You just basically hit start there. The Super Mario games are well represented. Note that there are some fakies in here. There's a little bit of homebrew stuff in here and some other weirdness, but the vast majority of the games are completely legit. So that's, well, legit pirated games. But, they're the actual games that they're marked. So that's a big plus. The variety is very, very good on this one. And like I said, I'm going to scroll through every screen. So if a game you're looking for shows up, you'll know. Tetris is on here. I get asked that one every once in a while. Glad to see it. Going down, we of course have the fake Angry Birds games on here, as well as the zombies games that seem to show up every time one of these clones is made. Got some Contra action. See, that's all right. I really have fallen in love with Mighty Final Fight lately, so I'm glad to see that's on there. There, of course, is your fake Plants vs. Zombies that I mentioned earlier. Ninja Gaiden should show up on everything, in my opinion. Keep going. We got PacMan Mania in here. Not my favorite version of PacMan Mania, but as I've said in earlier reviews, every PacMan Mania is a good PacMan Mania, in my opinion. Unless the controls suck. 1942's on here. I like that game. There is a lot of good shooters in here, which makes me pretty happy. A lot of stupid crap too, but yep. See, we got good old battle wings, right? Got XX's on here, which is really good. We've got some more classics coming up as well. F1 races on here. I'm going to be showing you that because that's kind of one of my bell ringers of quality, whether that game works properly or not. We got Gradius on here, which is pretty nice. Like that game a lot. We got Miss Pac-Man. Penguin Wars. I like this game a lot too, and it does have it, of course. You don't see it on everyone, but you see it on a lot of them now, which I'm happy to see. Track and Field. Twin Bee, another really good shooter. I love seeing a lot of shooters on here. Really do. Wrecking Crew, which is, of course, an early Mario game. Battle City. I'm going to play this one today because I've been asked a couple times to play it now. I'm terrible at it, just so you know. But I guess there are people who really love the heck out of this game. So I'll play a little bit of it here just to show you how it runs on here. You got Bomberman, which I believe is also another requirement. Burger Time, yet another requirement in my opinion. A really, really sadly named game. Then we got Dig Dug, which is good to see on here. Devil World, of course, I like. Xerion, I like this game quite a bit too. Got your Donkey Kangs. And Formation Z. And Joust is on here. That's always nice to see too. Lode Runner, we'll be playing this one for sure because I like to do the Lode Runner, are the buttons right test. Night Arrow. We got Popeye. Raid on Bungling Bay, which is an absolutely great game. I really like this. It's not my favorite version. I really like the Commodore 64 version a little bit better. But if you have never played this game, definitely give it a try. I'm not going to go into it on this video, but really great game. Make sure to grab yourself a PDF of the manual, though, because you'll probably want it so you got an idea of what's going on. There's this weird small Mario thing again. That is really strange. I'm not going to show you it because I've shown it before on this station, but it is basically a stupid little gambling game. Really weird. I don't know what's up with that. ER Kung Fu, which is a classic, not my favorite version of this either. And finally, you end with Zippy Race, not my favorite game either. All right, let's start looking at some games for real now. All right, so I'm bowing to requests that I try a few different games in here, so I am going to mix some stuff in here. Little Nemo Dream Master. Have not played this before, so here we go. You really want me to do this, huh? Dream 1, the Mushroom Forest. Well, there's a start. And, alright. Good enough, platformer. Creepy clown. Hey, little boy. What are you doing here? This place is too dangerous. There is no way for little boys. But you've got your mind set on staying here. I should tell you a secret. This is very creepy already. Many of the creatures here will give you a ride if you feed them candy. You can ride for as long as you like. Press select to stop. Also, many doors are locked. You will need to collect a different key for each lock in order to get through. By the way, my name is Flip. Would you like to come into my van? I have candy there. Alright. Creepy. Alright, there's candy. So, wait. Come here. I don't think he will let... Oh, yeah, this... No. I guess this is not an animal that will let me ride him if I give him candy? Whatever. Come on. Just gonna wander on here. No way to kill him, I guess. Man, there's a lot of stuff attacking you. He doesn't seem to jump high enough. Now, maybe I get some better jump. Yeah, and I bet you I can go in the water. Oh, sweet. There, captured that. Alright, this is not so bad now. This is actually kind of cool. Not a bad little platformer, huh? Alright, well, we could spend 2 hours on this game, or we could go on to the next game. Guess what I'm choosing? And here we are with PacMan Mania. And I did review this a couple weeks back on the Namco Bandai Plug and Play. And as I mentioned there, it's not my favorite version of this game, but this is a Famicom emulator, and it runs this version of PacMan Mania just fine. Controller works really well. I'm pretty impressed all the way around with this controller, especially next to some of the other ones that even got fairly decent reviews from me. Ooh, why did I do that? Why? And why didn't I jump? Why didn't I jump? The one thing I really like about this version of Pac-Man, of course, is the ability to jump. I've always thought that this was a really good updating of the Pac-Man game, and probably my favorite update of the Pac-Man game. It really looks good on the Sega Genesis, and it really looks good in the arcade. The NES was starting to show its age, obviously, by the time this came out. So it's, you know, it is what it is. A product of its time. Would have liked to have seen him try and make an Atari 2600 version of this. That would have been funny. Alright, let's go on. Alright, so now we're playing G.I. Joe, a real American hero, which apparently I'm not. Jeez. I'm making a mess of this game. A little bit like Contra on the cheap. Graphics are pretty good though, huh? This is another one I have not played neither in real life nor on the station. So this is a first for me. Ugh. Suppose I should have ducked that. Yep, there we go. Apparently you can switch characters too. Mid-play, boy, it took a lot of bullets to kill him. Yeah, here we go, see? So I can switch. Now I got this thing, so that's a cool mechanic. There's something up there. There's something up there. Yeah, got it. Well, this game's not too bad. Oh, you actually run out of bullets. Oh, God. Is this plane attacking me at super low altitude? Yes, it is. What the heck? Guess I gotta get out in front of it. Oh, no. No, no. We're switching guys. Hold on. I need a gun. I need a gun. There we go. What? What? Wait. What the heck? Am I gonna end up punching this? This is ridiculous. Alright, we're going on to the next game. I'm gonna punch that jet. Alright, so here's F1 race, and this is kind of a weird thing that I never ran into before. Sometimes F1 race works just fine. But every once in a while, I'll start it up, and it will have the reversal bug on it, which is where the controls reverse when you hit corners. See, right now it's working just fine. But every once in a while, I'll run into it doing the reversal bug. I don't get that. Sometimes it also starts up to a black screen instead of the game. And it'll still play, though. You can hit start, and you'll be able to play a race normally. So how's that for weird? But it's working just fine now, so I'll give it, I don't know what to say, 50% maybe? I don't know. Works great sometimes, other times does not. I don't know what to tell you about that. Weird. I haven't done Puyan in a while. So let's play some of this. Couple levels maybe. This is a horrific game if you think about it. Come on. There we go. You're not throwing a sausage at me. Boom. Oh, yeah, missed me. I guess this game was like a pretty big hit in the arcades. It wasn't in my area. I mean, we knew what the game was, but I think the first time I actually ran into it was on the Apple IIe. A friend of mine played it. I like the way I had to say Apple IIe because, you know, not just an Apple II, it's the Apple IIe. And it's not the Apple IIc. No, no, no. The Apple IIe. This is a much superior version to the Apple version, by the way. Just kind of yucky. Good game. And playing very smoothly, may I say. Alright, let's go try another couple games. Alright, Lode Runner. There's both Lode Runner and Lode Runner 2 on here. I am happy to say that the buttons are mapped correctly so that the left button goes left, or digs left, and the right button digs right. The way it ought to be. Shoot. Sucker. Actually, I need this one too. Good stuff. I really like this game. This is another game that I first played on the Apple II, and the NES version is just far superior to it. Really good. Although, as I recall, I think the Apple version had a level designer on it. Not you, huh? One of you guys has my gold. Not you either. Where the heck is it? Oh, I'm unlocked. There we go. I didn't notice without the audio cues. There we go. Lode Runner. Yeah, runs fine. Dig Dug 2 answers the age-old question, what would happen if we took Dig Dug and made it suck? I never really liked this game very much. It was the only one I think that came out in the US. Somebody else pointed that out to me, and I recall that because I wanted to get Dig Dug, and could not find it. And I found Dig Dug 2 and thought, well, that's a great idea. And I got this, which is just, it's not as good. I mean, you know, you got your Figer though. Got a little Figer there, a little Figer action. But I just feel like they kind of took elements away. I mean, ugh. Cannot believe I died. That is terrible. Terrible. On round 2. Come in. Poppy pop. Can still have fun with it though. And you know, maybe you remember this game and love it, so it's in this collection. Or maybe you like to suffer. I don't know. Alright, let's go on to the next game. Alright, and just for the record, Dig Dug is on here. It was released for the Famicom, even though I'm pretty sure it wasn't released in the US. So you got that if you missed it. Back in the day. There we go. Pretty decent version of it too. This does show up on several of those arcade handhelds too. So you can pick it up there, but considering this thing's the same price as one of those arcade handhelds, in fact it's cheaper, you probably want to play it on this. Come on. Come on. There you go. Another one of my favorite games when I was a kid. I really liked this game a lot. I thought Mr. Do was pretty good too, though. Do not get me wrong. That was a, yeah, really sad thing to say. Oh, don't run, no! Oh, he's gonna get there. Darn it. Ah, he got away. Alright. Alright, and here's Twin B, and what I want you to note is kind of the smooth controls that I've got here. I've got some real nuance in the way that I'm capable of moving my ship. And that's important because a lot of these Famicoms, it kind of has like this flatness to the steering, and you'll notice it. You can see it. So this one's pretty good. Jeez, I'm missing a lot though. My gameplay's not so hot right now. But it really does control quite well, and I really have no problems getting it to do what I want it to do, which is pretty darn good. Even if I have problems getting my brain to do what I want it to do. Oh yeah. I really love this game. This is some classic Nintendo right here. There we go. Grab him. Oh, dead. All right, one last one. And here we are with Battle City. Basic idea here is I've got a base at the bottom of the screen. I have a tank, and I have to destroy 20 enemy tanks before they destroy my base or wipe out all my tanks. They like to come down the center every once in a while and just shoot their way through this. Come on. I have not shot one enemy tank. There, one enemy tank I've shot. There we go. There's some numbers. Hey, you're dying. There's a red, itchy, irritated tank. No, you're dying. Later levels have more elements on them. There is some foliage, things like that around. Also, if you notice, there's drops every once in a while. One of my favorites freezes them. In fact, I believe that's the one. Oh, they are really going after it. No, 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 no. All right, so now I gotta defend it from here. Nope. I got him. Whew. This is way closer than this should be on the first level. Got it though. There we go. Very nice. Made it through it, although it got a little hairy there at the end. All right, so let's go on and decide this system's fate. And so the verdict on the Retro FC Q3. Construction quality is pretty darn good. I like it. Like the screen, it's larger than your average screen on these things and very bright, colorful. There were no dead pixels, no problems whatsoever with that. The D-pad is very good and responsive. I like that as well. The A and B buttons are mismarked and they are vertical as opposed to horizontal, which you're used to, or maybe used to. Well, you should be used to if you've been playing this on a Nintendo. So that's a little bit weird, and I'm knocking off a little bit for that. Also, the buttons are kind of close together. Occasionally, I would accidentally hit the B button when trying to hit the A button. So I'd end up hitting both when I meant to hit just one. It wasn't a huge problem, though. It only showed up a couple times, so I'm not going to dock it too much for that. As far as sound quality goes, it's pretty decent. It's middle of the road. It's not super tinny, but it is definitely tinny. The volume goes up high enough. You have no problems hearing it, so I like that. Speakers front located, so you're not covering it up all the time. Yay. It does have video out, which I like. Boy, I'd like to start seeing these come out with HDMI out, but I guess that's not to be yet, especially given the price point of this thing. It still uses the old mini USB connector versus the micro USB, and I prefer to see the micro ones nowadays. But again, given the fact that this is a $15 device, it's really hard to fault it. Given the fact that everything works pretty darn well, I would definitely rather have this than most of the Famiclones that are out there right now. In fact, I would say that this is the original GB station. Which has been my pick thus far. I would say that this easily rivals it. It's very, very close to being this. In fact, in some ways, as far as the D-pad goes, I'd probably rather be playing this than this one. And it's definitely going to be one of the regulars that I use now when I'm on the go playing Famicom games. So, it is what it is, but it does what it does well.
Say what?
Which is play old NES games. So it gets a pretty easy thumbs up. If anybody else has had experience with these, let me know. I did get this for free from TomTop for review, so I always worry that they sent me like a super version of this, like the best case scenario version of this, and that other people won't get as good a one. But this one that I reviewed is really pretty darn good system. All right, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more Famicom action.